Okay, dear friends, let us begin the second part of the essay that is written by Vandana Shiva. The name of the essay is, as you have seen in the first video. If you want to know further, please watch the first video related to this. That how economic development has increased, has become anti-life. So, how economic development has become anti-life. That is the essay. So now Uh, until now, Vandana Shiva, the writer, told us about what is called growth actually, and the normal day to day activities, and the normal people who live in a day to day activities are not at all contributing to the growth of the nation, according to economists. That's what the claim of Vandana Shiva. So, in the next line, the same ideas related to the seed politics the writer is going to concentrate on. So I'd like to bring your kind notice that from here the writer is letting us know about the seed politics. Yeah, in the same way, evolution has gifted us the seed. Evolution, since the beginning of civilization in the at the banks of rivers. So they from then the man has been in the regular progress or regular changes in the form, in the strength, in the capacity, in the time. Everything has been changed. So that is what the evolution of the seeds. So that's a part of evolution. We may say farmers have selected, bred, and diversified those seeds, and it is the basis of food production. Right, all this is the quite common thing, being all the sons and daughters of farmers. So a seed that renews itself and multiplies produces seeds for the next season as well as food. Okay, that is the quite common quality of seed. It produces seeds for the next season as well as it also produces food. So that is the quality of seeds, and it renews itself, it multiplies itself. Okay, that is how the things go on, the process, scientific process go there. Yeah. Now however, if the seed is to that extent strong, or if the seed has such capacity, then farmer bred and farmer saved seeds like these common seeds are not at all contributing to the growth, are not seen as contributing to the growth. So it creates, renews life, but it doesn't lead to profits. Quite common, because the seed which we want to sow for the next crop are not supposed to buy from anyone. So the seeds will be available with us only because we have grown it. So then we are not supposed to invest any money to buy the seeds. So there is no profit at all for the seed sellers, right? And that's how the thing, it is not at all contributing to the growth according to economics. But when growth, see, growth begins when seeds are modified, patented, and genetically locked. So this is the politics behind the seeds. Almost, seeds will be modified, and they will be patented, and they will be genetically locked. So like this, the things are there. Yeah. Now let us continue. This leads, the genetically locking of seeds, moderating of seeds, leads to farmers to force them to buy more every season. So farmer has to buy the seeds every season. That is how the things go on. Yeah. So when that seed is modified and genetically locked, so it will not be able to yield more crops or more seeds for the next season. So we have to go for buying the seeds every season. That is how it gives the profit. Yeah. So next, the nature is impoverished, biodiversity is eroded, and a free open resource is transformed into a patented commodity. So the quite simple original nature is now impoverished, means it has lost its capacity to live. The strengthy, the powerful, Okay, and the biodiversity is eroded. Erosion means gradually decreasing. Okay, so biodiversity, it's a kind of the thing which we live in with. Biodiversity is eroded, and a free open resource. Free and open resource means which will be available for each and everyone freely, has been transformed into a patented commodity. So we have to pay for everything which was free once upon a time. Now, to buy seeds every year is a recipe for debt for India's poor peasants. So the farmer has to buy the seeds every season. So then he has to go for money. So he has to ask some money from his own people, or we may say the rich people or the banks or anywhere. So that is where it starts, the debt. And the statistics about that, the writer tells us here is, and ever since the seed monopolies have been established, farmers debt has been increased, and that caused more than 2,70,000 farmers caught in a debt trap, and especially in India. And those all farmers have committed suicide since 1995 until to the write up of this article, you should know. Okay, so this is how the things go on. Just look at the seed politics and look at the costly lives of our farmers. Okay, nobody worries about them, but the only family which is dependent on that farmer has to suffer long time. Right, now this is how, that is the things. Poverty is also further spread when public system is privatized. Privatization is now a part of government, part of system, we may say. Yeah, privatization of water, electricity, health and education does generate growth through profits. Okay, see, just for example, I would like to convince you this through an example, that see, when you bring the water from free open well, you are not supposed to pay anything. When you buy a water from a bottle which is there in the shop, you have to pay for it. When you pay, that is the profit. Water now provided the profit for the people. So this is how the privatization means. Privatized asset means which is there in a particular shop, it belongs to him only. Now the open well, okay, we may say the well which gives water to each and everyone, doesn't accept any money. That is not, that belongs to government. So when the things get privatized, yeah, nowadays you people experience privatization of electricity, privatization of health. Privatization of health means, government hospitals as well private hospitals, just compare. It will be convinced to the even the smallest kid who is just around 10 years old. Okay, government hospitals will not levy such a heavy amount on the patients. But look at the private hospitals, they are not at all private hospitals. They are they are just grabbing money now, especially in the cases of at the time of corona. That's another thing. But it also generates poverty by forcing people to spend large amounts of money on what was available at affordable costs. So if you are given the treatment in the government hospitals, then the amount to be invested on your health will be saved. So when you go to private hospital, you have to give give the money which you earned. So all the money will be invested there only, invested, not invested, wasted. So after that, for a day-to-day living, you have to go for debt again. That is how people becomes poorer and poorer. So when every aspect of life is commoditized, commercialized and commoditized, living becomes more costly and people become poorer. So I don't want to explain it, just because all of us know people nowadays are more commercialized and people treat people as commodity. Okay, it was there in the almost 18th 19th century on this earth, in the form of what do we call it? Yeah, racism. Okay, we call it as slavery. Yeah, slavery was there. People used to treat people as commodity. Now it has been in the in the modern era also it is there. So this is how the things go on. Very well explained article. This is both ecology and economics have emerged from the same root, oikos, the Greek word for household. See, the word oikos is the Greek word. From this word, both economics and ecology. See, economics and ecology have emerged. The Greek word, the meaning of eco is household. The meaning of the word eco or oikos is household. As long as economics was focused on the household, it recognized and respected its basis in natural resource and the limits of ecological renewal. Until until economics was focused on household, it has its own boundary, and it runs on natural resources, so it has its limits on ecological renewal. Then economics would be in convenience with ecology. But when it was focused on providing for basic human needs within these limits, when the limit was there to economics, it was something different. When it was decided on the basis of natural resource, the economics was different. When it was considering the ecological sources, then economics was different. But when economics as based on household was also women centered. See, women are the very important part of a household. So economics, when it is based on household, it is women centered. Today, economics is separated and opposed to both ecological process and basic needs. Now, economics won't consider basic needs and ecological processes. It doesn't consider. Okay. So while the destruction of nature has been justified, see, man is destructing the nature and he is justifying it just on the grounds of creating growth. He says, see, I would like to explain this through simple example. When you are going to cut a forest or some trees in the forest, if some people opposes you, what do you say? See, I'm going to cut these trees and I'm going to provide some space for the people to live, and I'm going to use these woods, okay, pile of woods, and I will sell it. Later on I will bring money to people. So this is what the explanation of economical mind people. That is how they, that is the uh, imagination or fancy of creating growth. But including that, he creates poverty and dispossession has increased. So with that, poverty also increases, and dispossessions means giving up. Possessions means having it. Dispossession means giving up. When people give up the things belong to them, okay, they almost for no money. That is how the poverty begins. Poverty raises, right? While being non-sustainable, it is also economically unjust. Economical unjust is everywhere. Okay. And this is how when we cause nature harm, okay, again it is indirectly provides us the poverty and economic injustice. So things go on. The dominant model of economic development has in fact become anti-life. So dominant model. So let us see what is dominant model if it is explained in the next coming lines. When economies are measured on only in terms of money, this is the dominant model of economics. That is, economy is measured only in terms of money. If you have money, you are rich. If you don't have money, you are not rich. Even if you have a great health, even if you have strength to fight, even if you have strength to work, you are not rich. If you have no money, you must have money even if you are at the age of dying or at the verge of dying, I may say. Yes, if you are rich, then if you have money, then you are treated as rich. That is what the dominant model nowadays. The rich get richer and poorer get poorer. And the rich might be rich in monetary, that's what I am saying is The people are rich in monetary terms, but they are too poor in their wider context of what is being human. So nowadays, being human is not at all considered for any discussion, because being human is less concentrated than so having money, okay, being rich. So things are like this nowadays, yeah. At the times of corona especially, if you survey their friends, just the people who work are very much healthy and they are still working happily and they are living happily. But the people who were considered as very rich, who didn't have the time to spend the money they earned, and they drank, right, and they smoke, everything they do, because of that reason they are rich in terms of monetary, but they are very much poor in terms of healthy life. And that's what they lost their lives. You can see, just observe the things closely, you will definitely come to know. Let's continue. Meanwhile, the demands of the current model of the economy are leading to resource wars, especially like oil wars, water wars, and food wars, etc. Now corona is just like a virus war. Okay, let's not discuss much about this. So this current system of economy is creating the wars like oil wars, okay, water wars. You may understand the conflict between states and countries about the rivers and the border of waters, things, and so on and so forth things. There are three levels of violence involved in non-sustainable development. So what are the three levels? Just see. What are the three levels of violence, right? The first is violence against the earth. Yeah, indirectly causing harm to the nature or destroying the nature, which is expressed as ecological crisis. First, he does the violence against the earth, and it says it is ecological crisis. The second is the violence against people, which is expressed as poverty. Okay, violence against people. Okay, people are forced to work hard for less money. That is how poverty grows and grows. And destitution means greater poverty and displacement. When man will not be able to live happily where he has to, he leaves the place. That is how his displacement takes place. So every day there will be migration of people, just because they will not be able to live happily where he is supposed to. So the things are like this. The third is the violence of war and conflict, as the powerful reach for the resources. So now take for example this powerful, may be said as powerful people, powerful countries, powerful nations, okay, or powerful troops, we may say, or we may say, you may say, powerful politicians, anybody who will be who reaches for the resources that lie in other, okay, that lie in other communities. So powerful people, powerful countries, powerful nation, or powerful organization try to fetch the resource which will be there with the other communities, maybe and countries, for their limitless appetites. Yeah, nowadays, take the example of China. It is putting its harsh hand on Hong Kong. Okay, it wants to have that Hong Kong under its control, and it is stretching hands even on Tibet as well, and it's stretching hands towards the Indian border. Okay, it has already got Pakistan under its hands. So this is how powerful countries. Yes, it's no doubt that China is more powerful than India in any case, in case of population, in case of military strength or whatever. But we have to be careful, that's what. That is other thing nowadays, imbalance of sources, imbalance of resources. Yeah, increase of money flow through GDP has become disassociated from real value. The real value has no real value, right? Now money flow through GDP has become disassociated from real value, but those who accumulate financial resource, see, accumulations means having much and much continuously, having more and more, getting more and more. Okay, keeping it at one place. Okay, accumulate to get more and more, and keeping it with them only. Accumulation, what we call it as accumulation. The people who accumulate financial resources can then stake claim on the real resource of people. Yeah, when you have money, you will be, obviously you will be having the power over the people, because people will work for you just because of money. Yeah, resources of people, their land and water, their forests and seas. Okay, this is how the grabbing of the great hands over the weaker ones, right? The thirst leads to them predating on the last drop of water. Predate means hunt. The people will continuously hunt towards the resources and the last inch of land, as well as last drop of water on the planet. They will almost continuously put extra effort, using their power, using their strength. So they will predate on the last drop of water as well as land. This is not an end to poverty. The poverty begins there, nobody, no, there is no doubt. But this is not an end to poverty, it is an end to human rights and justice. Nowadays, in this modern era, there is no question of rights and justice. Okay, just we have to work, just we have to earn. And in one fine poem of W Wordsworth, he says, man, man looks like happy, but he lays his strength in earning and spending. Okay, love, like this, William Wordsworth says. The name of the poem is, let me tell you that. Yeah, okay. One fine poem it is. If I remind, I will let you know before the lesson ends here. Nobel Prize winning economists Joseph Stiglitz and Amartya Sen have admitted that GDP does not capture the human condition. Okay, GDP does not cover the human condition, it only covers the humans accumulated money only, right? Yeah, condition, and urged the creation of different tools to gauge the well-being of nations. So these the people like Amartya Sen and Stiglitz, these are the Nobel Prize winning economists. They guided, they advised the the system of countries to have some different kinds of tools to measure. To gauge means to measure. See here, to measure the well-being of nations means people. So this is why the countries like Bhutan have adopted gross national happiness. So gross national happiness, it is like a GDP of India or China or other countries. It has its own kind of different measuring system through gross national happiness in place of gross domestic product by Bhutan, right? To calculate, it is used to calculate the progress, right? We need to create measures beyond GDP. Nowadays, it's a very important case need to be concentrated on. Yeah, we have to consider not only the GDP but also other things of everyday living people, day to day, their thoughts. Okay, their living style, each and everything needs to be concentrated. And economy is beyond the global supermarket. Everything will be decided on the basis of this global supermarket. So we have to go beyond those economies like global supermarket to rejuvenate real wealth. Okay, real wealth is gradually distracting each and everyone. Okay, and it has been decreasing each and every day. We have to rejuvenate it, we have to refill it. Real wealth means the health of people, the lifestyle of people, the literacy rate of people, all those things need to be considered. We need to remember that the real currency of life is life itself. Very important statement by the writer. We need to remember that the real currency of life is life itself. There is nothing which cannot be replaced. just for the sake of life. Even if you have money, you will not get another life, right? If you have money, you can earn money. If you have money, you cannot earn any extra life. Only once you are supposed to be born, and you are supposed to be dead, right? So this is a beautiful statement, beautiful line, fantastic meaningful line we have to think of. So nowadays people are running behind money. So what she says is, don't run behind money, run beyond the thoughts of money. Okay, think beyond the thoughts of money. So she has given us a wonderful, insightful information about how economic growth is making the people poorer and poorer. Okay, if you want to be poor, be rich in case of money. Okay, if you are not, even if you don't want, it will. The today's society is taking the human being to that extent, towards that only. Okay, and let's stop the things here. Later on, let us continue with the other information of the essay in the next coming class. Thank you very much for listening, and I request you people to read it carefully, listen the video again and again. So this will be there for the help of your examinations. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.